Frame 18.
This is
Barry
the
Hawkins
final
to
day of the Betfair World Championship, and what a tournament it's been for Barry Hawkins. Now what has he got left in the locker against the genius really that is Ronnie O'Sullivan? But he's stayed with him so far, Ken.
Yes, he certainly had. He's done fantastically well, stood up to the challenge. And how crucial will that last frame be, John? Last night, the black ball finish gave Ronnie a little bit of light between him and Barry Hawkins. There you see the long pot success, 93% from Sullivan, 92 from Barry Hawkins. What a wonderful atmosphere, both players, and a fantastic ovation they received coming into this wonderful Crucible Theatre. And there's a very interesting spectator, Ronnie Jr. in the middle there. That's Ronnie's son. Wonder what he's thinking.
He went for it. He thought the only red he could leave was the one he was playing, and that's the one he's left. This is it, as I say. If you get close to the jaws, the red would have stayed at this end, but it didn't. And he's left Ronnie an easy starter.
One.
He's a little bit careless. He played on the blue. Now, whether he just assumed the blue was on its spot, but he's overran and he's looking at the pink. It's a bit more difficult.
Seven.
Looks to be a little bit straight on this red. Down the right hand cushion. Would have loved to have a lovely angle, just come off two cushions for the black. May decide to go back up the table.
Eight.
Again, wrong side of the blue. And that will certainly annoy him. Plenty of room to work for there.
As you can see there, when we moved in over Ronnie's shoulder, as Ken said, he was too straight on the blue to do anything. And the problem is,
13.
He's on this red to the right corner, but I don't think the black's that accessible. Good shot needed if he's going to play for it. Well, decided
14.
to try and screw back and finish on the pink. Misjudged it.
Ronnie O'Sullivan. 14.
There's a man who knows all about World Championships. Absolute genius on the dartboard. Phil Taylor. And of course, Stephen Fry. Legend. And Damien Hirst, who's a big supporter of Ronnie's. Always here at the tournament backstage. And just talking about Damien Hirst, Ken, I mean, it's good to have somebody with you because it's quite a lonely life otherwise, isn't it?
Yeah, he's been great company for him. And it's always nice to have somebody in your dressing room, someone you can talk to, and someone helping you relax. And certainly that man has been a great friend to Ronnie.
1.
Well, he would have loved to just kiss that blue just another maybe inch or so. He's still okay on the blue, but just because the cue ball is so close, it makes it a little bit more difficult. He's got to be careful he doesn't push this. Well, that's an excellent shot. It's so difficult, those shots. As we look at the fantastic opening
6.
red.
Mm. 7.
I think he may have overdone this. Needs to slow up to be on the pink. He's a little unlucky there, in all honesty, but he just didn't judge how it came off the second red. Where's the cue ball going? Close, but I'll tell you what, he's done well to get this far
13.
up the table.
Yeah, he's going to require another good shot with the rest here because these are so tricky. And he can drop onto the black here. Oh, excellent shot. That's a fantastic shot.
14.
He's on the black and he's got a nice angle to hold the cue ball with the reds just to the left of the black here. Oh, that's a wonderful shot. Excellent shot. And now set up a fantastic opportunity here for
21.
Ronnie. That was well controlled, John. Excellent shot.
Yeah, and it always amazes me the red he played with the rest. You know, he plays so many shots left-handed, you think using the rest would be a weakness. He doesn't use it that often, but just doesn't seem to be any department of the game that he's weak in.
$22.
Well, that was a strange shot. Do you know, I really think he was undecided there which ball to play for. And in the end, it's finished. Well, not good on the black, not good on the pink, looking at the difficult blue. And it found him out. It found him out.
Ronnie Sullivan, 22.
Poor positional shot off the red, as I say. I think he played it before he decided which ball to play on.
Yeah, a little bit surprised he didn't like try and, even when he was potting that red, is try and get even between the pink and the black. It looked like he was trying to come up the table and have the pink into one of these bottom corner pockets, but landed in nowhere in land. Now, if he pots that red and leaves the cue ball between pink and black, he's got a good choice. But landed in no man's land. Chance for Barry Hawkins.
1.
Yeah, a good pot that. Unfortunately, Barry comes to the table and there's those 4 reds near the top cushion. They're out of commission. Obviously, the 3 reds to the in between the pink and black, one of them will go. He's just not got the right angle on the pink. He's going to have to do a bit of work with the cue ball here. Played the cannon. And I think it's okay. He's going to be slightly hampered by the black. But I don't think
7.
he has to do much with the cue ball. So it makes this a little bit easier. He's trying to see if he could slip by the side of the black, but as I say, he doesn't have to do much to get position.
8.
Played it very well.
Go on back.
Yeah, a couple
15.
of reds and colours, but the problem will be, as you said, John, those 4 reds close to the top cushion.
16.
Now, when he puts this pink, and try and get a nice angle off that red that's just to the left of the black. If he leaves the cue ball, when he puts this pink, he gets onto the red. He's just got to leave the cue ball almost exactly where the red is now. If he leaves it exactly where the red is now and potting the red,
22.
he'll have a lovely angle on the black to try and disturb these 4 reds.
23.
And I think, John, these 2 reds just to the left here, one of them is going towards this left-hand corner pocket. So a nice connection on this red, and one of these should be over the corner pocket here. Well, he's overhit it.
30.
Yeah, it certainly didn't turn out as he would have wanted. In actual fact, he only released one of the reds. He was hoping to bring 2 or 3 of them into play, but he's run out of position. But he's right back in it, just 6 points behind. Oh, he should have put
By
that red
Hawkins,
near the side
30.
cushion. That's a dangerous thing to leave Ronnie a red like this. That red should have been tight against the side cushion. He gives Ronnie an opportunity here. Good cueing needed, but we know what he's capable of. He's missed it, and once that red run along the top cushion and hit the 3 reds, he could have left something easy on here. Wasn't happy with that one. Yeah, asking for the extended rest, so the pink has come to Ronnie's rescue for the red in the middle of the table. Big day for the Hawkins family. On the right, his father Steve. Next to him is his mother Caroline. And next to the mum, sister Tanya. What a day it is for them, and they'll be so proud of Barry and so proud of the way he's performed in this match when most people were writing him off. Got to be careful here he doesn't knock a red over the right corner. Well, he knew it was going towards the right corner, so he played it with enough pace to come on and off the cushion. Needs to get a better length than that. Okay, the last long red that he left Ronnie missed, but he's not going to keep missing them. The blue's just making it slightly awkward. Well, this time he went for it, and he's not got away with it. It run across and developed the reds. What a chance this is now for Barry Hawkins. He looks at the scoreboard, Barry, as we watch that, and it run across, released the red. He's looked at the scoreboard. If he can get high-value colours with these 4 remaining reds. He may not need the green.
Yeah, he was doing his calculations, wasn't he? 4 reds, 4 blacks. 6 behind before he came to the table. That will put him 26 ahead with 27 on, so he will need the yellow. It's one of those situations where players are thinking 4 or 5 shots ahead, you know, doing the calculations.
8.
Wondering, there he goes, look, he's having a look at the scoreboards. he's working it out in his mind exactly what he's going to need before Ronnie possibly need a snooker. 4 reds, 4 blacks and a yellow, 28 in front, 25 on the table. And I suppose the good thing from Barry Hawkins' point of view, that red on the left hand side of the table is not too bad for a left-hander.
Now imperative in potting this red, he gets a good angle on the black
16.
to drop on that awkward last red.
Seventeen.
Now I'm looking at his body language. Has he just got enough angle? I think he has, just to force it over. Perfect. Well, can he reach without
24.
having to use the rest?
Yep.
I thought he may be able to come from it from the side, but he's using the rest. He's got the perfect angle on the red. And as Ken said, by taking blacks with these remaining reds, he only needs the yellow to leave Ronnie needing a snooker. Well played. And he's finished nicely on the black. So the black and the yellow will put him in the snooker's required stage. He studied that scoreboard long and hard when he first came to the table. He knew what he had to do. And he's done really well here.
32.
And looks very comfortable, in a nice comfortable zone he seems to be to me, Ken.
Yeah, he's got a nice momentum, composure, nice angle on this yellow as well to try and nudge this green towards this middle pocket. And that'll do it. Nice shot, brings the green into play.
Yeah, and of course he knows the importance, although it's one snooker needed, it's not the biggest order. He wants this green in. And in it goes! Superb pot!
Well, have a look at this for a shot. Needs to run a little bit more, but
Yeah, it won't matter now, because no matter what happens, Ronnie will concede. And Ronnie has a great chance in that frame.
Stephen, we talked yesterday about the fact that this final in itself is a marathon. What's your attitude coming into the second day of the final? How does it change?
Monday, now you realise you're in the final. It feels more like a final. You see all the VIPs and everybody turning up. It just the whole buzz of the place is different from the first day.
Well, it's certainly buzzing in here, and it's certainly buzzing in the Crucible Theatre.
Yes, Ronnie has made an excellent break off there. Not left a pot on. And we're just giving you a look at what Barry's seeing from the balk end. He's got that red on the left-hand side of the table. Wouldn't be playing that. And just looking at it, it doesn't look like there's a return to the balk end. So he's looking to play a containing safety.
yes, and the only problem about playing that containing safety shot is, of course, that red behind the black. Normally you try and leave the cue ball down on the black cushion as we look, but that red is far enough off that black cushion to be in a good position to pot, so he can't do that. So he's in a precarious situation here. He's decided to leave that red, and that may be a mistake. He didn't want to. He contemplated a few different shots. And it's no gimme down this cushion. Quite tricky, but he has left the other red, of course, over the yellow pocket as well. But Ronnie would love to take this one on and get on the black.
Yeah, nicely played. I'm not quite certain what Barry Hawkins had in mind on his last safety shot, but it went all wrong, and he knows he can't offer up easy starters for Ronnie. I don't know if he can pot this red and come for the black. Looks like he's going back up for the blue.
9.
Just a bit short on the blue again. He's just having a little bit of problem with the pace of the table at the start of the session.
$14. 15.
Well, just about on the yellow. A bit thicker on the brown. He may have been on nothing.
$17. 18.
He'd love to get the cue ball somewhere in around that little circle I put up there. A couple of reds to go at. Just about perfect. And take the one, I think, directly above the black first. And the only reason I say that is he may
24.
use the loose one now to maybe develop, after he puts this black, develop some more reds. Leave a nice angle, possibly low on it. Now will he go into the pack? Just
31.
slide off the bottom of that small little pyramid. The pink is possibly on into the right centre. And that's what he's looking at. He wants to bring some more reds and see if he'll be on the pink still in the right centre if he doesn't get on the black. Just looks a little straighter than he would have liked on this red.
$32.
Well, as you say, he wasn't happy with the angle, and I think that red just below the pink is available, so that's maybe why he decided not to risk anything.
Second place, Ronnie.
And the fact that Jan Verhaas has asked him just to hold on a minute means that the pink spot's not available. So it goes as close to its own spot as it can in a direct line with the middle of the top cushion. And there's the magnificent Crucible Arena as we see Jan
38.
facing that pink.
39.
And certainly the top red goes to the right middle. And that's what he's played for. Normally Ronnie's the type of player who goes into the reds at
46.
the first opportunity, but it just shows you, Ken, how
47.
focused he is. He'd be disappointed to lose that first frame, and he doesn't want to, you know, make any mistakes here.
Yeah, absolutely. Big key shot now. He just didn't get the backspin required. And again, he'd be disappointed he didn't win the frame from that position. As we watch it again, just needed that bit more power on the cue ball.
Yeah, catching that red full in the face just took all the pace out of it, didn't it? And if it had caught the red half ball, we'd have had a bit more backspin left on, but...
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 54.
Without taking any undue risks, he's built up a lead of 54.
Yeah, 54 and a red on the side cushion, but Barry Hawkins will be taking this red off the side cushion and back into open play. Could be snookered here, Ronnie. Nice, good shot.
Just coming off the side cushion to nestle on the red near the baulk cushion. Won't give him any advantage. Right, if you hit as well as that, you can stop your opponent from playing any kind of safety shot. Could not have hit that better. Perfect line, perfect length. Don't think Barry can put distance between this red and the cue ball. Got to get that cue out of the way quick.
Foul. Thank you. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well, that was very admirable, wasn't it? And that's one of the great many things we have in our sport. Barry announced he fouled the ball even before Jan Verhaest, our referee, saw the foul himself. But what's worse for Barry Hawkins, he's left this red into the right centre.
Nice control pot, and it's run in and out of baulk. He's nicely on the green. The reds he needs to clinch the frame, they're possible. He'll be disappointed if he doesn't win this frame now.
Four. Five.
Just this black to go 70 points ahead with just 67 remaining.
$12. $13.
And that just means that Barry Hawkins will not bother coming back to the table in this frame.
$18. $19.
Average frame time, eh? Just over 15 minutes. You wouldn't like him playing in your snooker club, would you, Ken?
No, the
26.
bill wouldn't be that big, would it?
He's having a go at this red, but...
Oh,
what a shot!
Super shot. "15 minutes of frame."
33. 34.
Used to take Terry Griffiths that long just to break off, didn't it?
Yeah, I think in those days we used to sort of work on an average frame time of
41.
about 26, 27 minutes.
42.
But you're talking about a man here who's made a maximum break in this arena in 5 minutes and 20 seconds. And yesterday,
49.
he became the man who's had more century breaks here than
51.
anyone else. He's on 129 centuries just at the Crucible. breaking Stephen Hendry's
54.
record, which was 127.
$58.
He'd be very pleased getting this frame, particularly after what happened in the last frame. And it looks to be queuing just where he left off
63.
yesterday. Everything going into the middle of the pocket. Free-flowing mood.
Yeah, and I think what's been
69.
impressive to me in this, just that steely determination. You know, he's, as I say, he didn't take a lot of chances. He didn't make 100, but he made breaks of 54 and finished it off with a 76. Young Ron.
Done really well. It's done a lot of comebacks as well from being quite far behind, and I just think somebody should win for a change other than Ronnie or Sullivan.
Enjoy your afternoon. Thank you very much.
Poor break-off shot from Barry. He's just got to tighten up on his safety. Can't keep leaving Ronnie these chances. He's disappointed. And when you consider he tried to come this side of the blue to get to the baulk cushion, and he went the other side, that's how he misjudged the break-off.
Yeah, of course, and let Ronnie in with an easy chance in the last frame as well. But this is certainly not an easy chance, and the fact that there's no straightforward path down the baulk around the back of the black, that's why I think Ronnie has decided against taking this long putt on. Well, at first glance, it looks that he may have covered this red in the corner pocket. Body language from Barry Hawkins tells us that that red is covered. He's having a look at this one down into the bottom right hand corner pocket.
He'll have to pull off some shot here though, because it's so straight. The only colour he could possibly get on is the blue. And as I say, that is some shot to get the cue ball back up for the blue. There you go, 7'9" from cue ball to object ball. He's got to strike this as well as it is anything. Oh, and that's absolutely superb. You can forgive him for being the wrong side of the blue. The most important thing was pot the red and give yourself a chance of a colour. And we say with these superfine cloths, see how you get the bounce. Found a path, but it needs to slow down or a good kiss required.
6.
Overhit it. Pity. Great opening red, but only 6 points.
Barry Hawkins 6.
Well, is he on this red? And if he is, does he have an angle? It looks pretty straight to me. Might have to force an angle on this red.
Yeah, as you say, it looks very straight, and if you were trying to pinch a little bit, you'd want to hit the red slightly on the left as we look, and the blue maybe stopping that.
This could go in off. Yeah, it could go in off. Just tried to force the angle, didn't he?
Good straight cueing was needed, but once he hit the red in the middle of the pocket, the white was always going to follow it in. Now here's a chance for Barry. He's potted one terrific long red already at his last visit. This time he doesn't have to put that much into the cue ball because he can stun through for the black. Well, how far did he miss that by? Unbelievable.
Settle down,
Okay,
please.
the green may have just been pulling him off slightly, but boy, that was a long, long way away. He was almost embarrassed. There's a red here for the right corner for Ronnie, but I'm not certain where the colour comes from.
One.
Tried to run past the black and kiss the red to the left of it, but not on anything that you'd think you'd go for. It's not the most straightforward of shots because of that red that's near the left middle, and he's just thinking if I leave the cue ball tight on the top cushion, then
Ronnie Sullivan,
this
1.
red won't be a tempter. Well, it won't be a tempter now because the black somehow has come down and blocked the red. But he was going to leave him the red anyway, thinking, well, he can roll the red along the cushion, but he's not going to get a colour off it.
Yeah, if that black was open and the red could pass by it, it would have been straightforward for Barry Hawkins, but that's tied everything up now. Needs to slow up that cue ball. Well, can he get through to the red closest to the yellow pocket? This Hawkeye's view, he is on the red into the bottom corner pocket, the yellow pocket as we call it, but the problem is that that red that's closest to the left middle, just before it, that's the danger should he miss.
The one thing about Ronnie, you see people have thinking time about a shot, but you know that he'll be thinking of something that will put his opponent in trouble here. Well, tight on the top cushion would have been better. Barry, just having a look to see if there's a possibility of potting a red to the left middle and being able to find the potting angle on the black. Just gone a bit scrappy this frame, the black are not on its spot, pink tied up, blue near the side cushion. But that pace, never easy for the pocket to accept it. There's an easy shot here. If Ronnie, as we watch that again, a bit slower, it'd have gone in. Just stun the red into the black and the red should go up the table. So he's left the cue ball tight on the top cushion. Barry with a problem.
Yeah, that was a very clever shot, wasn't it? Bringing the black into play as well. And because he's so tight on this cushion, he can't get the cue ball back in a similar position to where he is now, and that's where he'd love to be. I've replayed this shot, but it's so difficult now.
This is where snooker is a very funny game sometimes. You can put someone in real trouble as Barry is here. And he's looking at all the options of getting a decent safety. And then all of a sudden, sometimes, Ken, you get to a situation and think, oh, I can't get it safe, but there is a pot to the right middle. Is it better to play the risky pot than the risky safety? And so many times we've seen people go for the pot, knock it in, and have a frame-winning chance.
Yeah, he hasn't really looked at that, has he, into the right-hand corner pocket. It's a tough angle.
Well, he feels that just touching that red, he's not leaving anything for Ronnie to go at, which is the best he could do, the situation he was in.
Ronnie may try and get him back into that same position again now. Needs to be tight on this cushion though. Yeah, the fact is he's not tight. Barry can dig down on the cue ball, but he is contemplating this red into the right centre, one that you mentioned earlier, John. Again, that's a very, very tough pot, should he miss it. Virtually handing another frame to Ronnie O'Sullivan. I think he can dig down on the cue ball to try and get it back to somewhere close to this back cushion.
Well, he's not got it tight to the top cushion, but I don't think he's left anything easy for Ronnie. And of course now, all the covers that are available are all in the other half of the table, so as I say, this game's going a little bit scrappy. Well, that's a fluke, and that's what he didn't want, believe me, because the good safety shot that Ronnie's played, he's got to play it himself now. He's the one in trouble. For once, a fluke didn't help.
Quite credible, wasn't it? Get a fluke. Put the red in there and leave yourself in trouble. And now, again, he's in the problem that Barry Hawkins was a few moments ago, but he's trying to see if he can leave the cue ball here in the top cushion. But there's a couple of reds both into left and right centre that will be available for Barry, and that's what he's afraid of. Pink does pot into left centre. Again, it may be one of these shots that you spoke about, John. He may be forced into having a go at this. He's sizing it up.
Yeah, you can see his mind ticking over, can't you? Is the safety guaranteed? He's just looking to see if he can get through to the blue and maybe not leave one of those reds you mentioned into the centre pockets. Now have a look once again at the potting angle on the pink.
Yeah, as well as the difficulty of this pot. Watch the cue ball, it will be going close to the green pocket.
Sullivan 1.
Well, we talk about costly flukes, but not the other way round. What a chance this is now for Barry.
One.
A chance to get the black back on its spot. The pink's now in the open.
8. Nine. Thanks.
Oh, he's come a bit straight on the black, but because the red's in the middle of the table, it shouldn't hamper him too much, just to play a screw shot on and off the side cushion.
$16.
Just coming up to 5 hours match time.
70.
This is a great chance and one you feel that he's got to take. The reds he needs are all in potable positions. He's now got the pink and black back on the spots, the blues in the
23.
balk end, so he can get that back on its own spot whenever he wishes.
24. $29. $30.
Just about perfect on the blue. As long as he's got the right angle, he can hold for either of these reds, either side of the pink. Now a 43-point lead.
35.
3 reds required.
$36.
Maybe a little bit disappointed to come straight, but as he's got the red near the baulk line, near the green spot, shouldn't cause him a problem. As I say, they preferred an angle.
$41. $42.
Yeah, that was a nice pot right in the heart of the pocket. 50 points ahead. Brown, red, and that should be enough to secure this frame for Barry Hawkins. He's let that one go a little bit too close to the cushion, more than he would have liked.
46.
But just this red. He's missed it. He's missed it. Yeah, he just got too close to the cushion there. Now, 54 points behind, 59 remaining on the table.
So he's not got many points to play with here, Ronnie. So this is the big problem he's got. The reds are in reasonable position, but they're at the wrong end of the table for him. Trying to force the cue ball. Unless he gets a good kiss, he's not on anything.
8.
Nothing easy anyway. He may have this red to this left corner pocket, but he needs pinks or blacks. Marvellous shot. Not perfect on the black.
Yeah, nice pot, wasn't it? Just a little bit low on this black. If we can get a close to this red on the left hand side of the table, anywhere in behind it, close to the cushion, and try and get it into the right centre. Yeah, needs to go a little bit, get behind it, and he's got it into the right centre. He's played it almost perfect. Just calculating the scores, he can possibly take a brown. He's 38 points behind. Red and brown, left needing the last red with a pink or black. That's why he's gone up for the blue. Needs to run.
17.
We can't get close to this red.
Well, that's what he's thinking of now. As I say, it was always going to be difficult because he didn't have that many points to play with. He's looking at the scoreboard now, pots the blue. He'll go 32 points behind. So off this last red, it's got to be blue or above if he's going to win the frame at this visit.
22.
And what a clearance this would be.
Absolutely fantastic shot. Have a look at this. That's cueing at its finest. Around the angles here. Well, is he going to leave the long yellow? I thought he might go around a few cushions trying to get close to this yellow, but he's going to require now another good pot.
28.
There you see it, 26 behind, 27, and Barry, of course, will be sitting in his seat, suffering, because he only needed that one red. He missed his chance. Will he get another? Well, has he got an angle on the screen?
What the shot he's just played there. Cued that in so nicely. Needs side. Watch the side. Absolutely perfect on the break. What a shot. He's pulling them all out of the fire here. This will hurt Barry Hawkins. This could be the turning point in this
37.
final. Barry Hawkins led by 54 with 50 remaining. What a clearance this would be.
42.
He's not come perfect on the pink. A little short.
Amount of right-hand side, and now the black to win the frame by 1 point and make Barry Hawkins really regret missing that frame ball red. In it goes. It doesn't get much better than that. Believe me, that was a sense.
When it's easy to look over your shoulder and sort of panic that you're getting close to the finishing line, desperately wants to win this to show how good a player he is. And he's shown every time he's been asked a question, guys come back at him. He's been producing all the tournament.
He is at warp speed now as we go back into the Crucible Theatre.
Yes, Ronnie breaks off, and the buzz in the crowd after that frame, that was electric, wasn't it?
Fantastic.
Just that bit of magic he produced there, wasn't it?
And some of the shots he played, we saw the yellow to green, green to brown, last red, up for blue. Fantastic clearance, and it could be the biggest frame of this final. It remains to be seen. It could be a turning point. It's going to take every little inch of steel in Barry Hawkins' character to come back from that now. But he's done it before. He was well down against Ricky Walden. He has nerves of steel himself, but he's going to have to draw on them in this final to come back from frames like that, John. They hurt you so much.
Tremendous. We see all that potting at the end of the last frame, and just have a look at that for a safety shot. And they're so hard to judge how it comes off the top cushion to find the baulk cushion. as good as that. Brilliant. As a safety success, I think with the safety and the potting, you know, you want to be looking at somewhere 90%. Tournament safety success is a bit low for Ronnie and a bit low for Barry. But Ronnie's up in it, certainly in this final. That's Barry's view from the baulk cushion. No easy path back to baulk there. And he knows he's got to get it safe. Well, a little tap on the table there from Ronnie, but Barry won't be happy with that result.
No, he certainly won't. He's left it almost dead straight red into the yellow pocket, and there's no pressure on this. Won't be leaving anything. Should he miss, it'd be perfect on the black. Should it go in? Oh, well, I said he won't be leaving anything, but what was the only possibility that he would leave? This red didn't hit it as hard as he possibly could. Good shot under the circumstances.
Yep, particularly after losing the last frame in the way he did. This opportunity is a must-take one, really. Just to prove to himself that he can get over reversals as he had in the last frame. He's a very, very tough competitor, as you said earlier, Ken, and you know, he's just got to produce now. No mistakes.
Four.
There's a mid-session interval after this frame. It's a good chance. He's just checking to see. Well, the pink didn't go on his
10.
spot. It's gone on the black spot. That won't bother him too much, I don't think. Apart from the fact at the moment the pink's only available into the left corner, but he can play on this one off this red.
11.
Now he can just nudge the red to the top cushion, play for the red near the top cushion, and clear the pink for both corners. Only thing is it left him with quite a bit of an angle on this red, so we give this pot every due care and attention.
8.
Nicely played.
Yes, when he pots this red, that will release another red into the opposite corner pocket. He doesn't have to worry about going into the pack just yet.
25.
But he has a nice angle. Now, he can easily screw back for the loose red directly above the cue ball at the moment, but he does have a nice angle if he wishes to go into the pack. Now, how's your look, Barry? There's the pink spot. If the pink spots, he's on nothing.
31.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and that was the danger, wasn't it, of going into the cluster. He had a few loose reds to play for, and there was always the danger that he could clear the pink spot and put the pink out of play. But to not finish on a red, as you say, unlucky.
Well, can he pot this one into the bottom right-hand corner pocket? got to be careful with the cue. It doesn't brush off the red he's bridging over. Is it there? Yes, it is.
33.
And he's okay. He's on the brown. And it looks like he has an angle on the brown to get back up for the reds. Oh, that was an excellent shot. Decided to stun it in rather than just
36.
run it in with top spin. And he's going to require another good pot here. This is good stuff from Barry Hawkins. Excellent cueing. Well played.
37.
Nicely on the blue.
He'd love to have been in a position where he could have played for the pink here, but it's back up for the blue.
43.
And he's just slightly short of pace, and it can make all the difference. If that had run on another couple of inches, it'd have been absolutely inch perfect and would have got close to the next red. Stephen Fry, his audience,
48.
absolutely loves snooker. Big fan of Steve Davis's. Of course, Phil Taylor has been in so many world finals, he'll be appreciating the nerves that are out there. And that
49.
is absolutely inch perfect. Very well played indeed. He knew he needed to be on the pink, but to get that gap. And now every reason to think that he'll win the frame at this visit. But remember the last one, he was just one red
55.
short. So that'll be in his mind.
$56.
But considering, Ken, what happened to him in the last frame, you said he needed a response. What a response we've got.
Absolutely. Ronnie has posed the question. Well, looks like Barry has come up with the answer. This is fantastic stuff.
62.
Just this red to close the gap. Once again, excellent.
63.
Well played, Barry Hawkins. Excellent break.
Yes, it was very important for his confidence after the last frame, and as we keep saying, he's been behind. He was a long way behind in the match with Ricky Walden in the
69.
semi-final, but hung on in there, and he's hanging on in again. Tough competitor, and proving it here. His head could have dropped
70.
after losing the last frame, but he just seems to come on stronger. As I say, there's a mid-session interval after this, so it can be a positive
76.
mid-session talk with Terry Griffiths.
77.
And the century break would just be the icing on the cake.
83. $84.
He's already made one century break in the final.
$90.
but what a performance that is from Barry Hawkins. Ronnie just left him one chance.
Well, it's a pretty good length with the breakout shot, but there is a red for Ronnie to take on. But I must say that last frame, I thought Barry Hawkins was sensational. To come back and make a 90 break after losing the frame before was quite special. Now can Ronnie knock a long pot in here? Of course he can. One. Just shows the importance really of that break-off shot. He got a good length, but nothing safe when the players are potting like this.
You've got to find the top cushion, don't you? And he was very close to finding the top cushion there, but Ronnie was able to play the shot to nothing. He's on the choice of green or yellow. The green would have held better position. The two reds to the right of the pink look easy to get onto from the green. He's actually looking at playing the deep screw now and trying to get onto the two reds above the black, but you wouldn't blame him because if he gets on those nicely. Well, still playing the same shot to run through this time, but left-handed running through, not bound to get perfect position. But that's okay.
Three. Four.
When he switches hands, it's quite amazing. He just looks so comfortable. Few players in the years gone by, people like Fred Davis. Well, myself, I used to switch hands because I didn't like the rest, but I tell you what, I couldn't. Could only play some shots left-handed.
12.
This fella can make century breaks with his opposite hand. And you're coming right in behind Ronnie O'Sullivan as he slots that black in.
$19. $20. $27.
Ronnie, as ever, leaving
28.
an angle on the black, albeit there is a loose red he can play for in the middle if he wants, but we know the key is here to not hit one of those reds full ball, but he's playing for the loose one. Unlike Ronnie to do that, he probably feels there's a better opportunity from possibly the blue or the yellow
35.
to go into the bunch. Probably because that pack was a little bit flat at the back there, didn't fancy sticking on one of those reds.
He didn't drop on this red as he intended. He's got a little bit more to do with the cue ball to get a good angle on the blue.
$36.
He made that look easy. Well, that's a terrific shot. As Willie said, it was difficult to go into them from the black, but to come in off two cushions and open them like that was a bit special. Already 41 points in the lead. It doesn't take him long to win a frame.
Yes, it seems every time that Barry does something special, like he did in the previous game and like he did in frames 13 and 14 with 80 and 133, all of a sudden Ronnie seems to think, oh, I've got to put the foot on the gas again. But every credit to Barry Hawkins for competing and competing well, and it's not beyond the realms of possibility he could still win the match. Obviously this frame looks like it possibly could disappear.
47. 48.
Already
55.
55 ahead, so not that many more pots needed to open up a 4-frame advantage.
56.
We talk about Ronnie being such a natural player, and not only the way he pots balls, he just seems to fall into position as he walks around the table. He just seems to just be absolutely perfect. You know, he doesn't have any shuffling around. And
62.
I know it's possible that Ronnie has probably played better at some time or another here at the Crucible, but I think this year especially, a lot of players have been
63.
struggling with their position, but Ronnie O'Sullivan's position all this 2 weeks of this Betfair World Championship has been pinpoint. I think that's the key difference in it, isn't it? I mean, we know he's a great player, but his cue ball control has been immense.
70. $76. 77.
if he could make a century here, he would equal the highest number of centuries made in a final. It'll be 5. He's got a difficult red though, near the cushion.
84. 85. 92. 93.
And he's absolutely perfect on the difficult red.
99. 100.
Wow, that is unbelievable. That's his 12th century in this year's World Championship. He made 12 last
106.
year when he lifted the crown.
108.
And what a sensational break this has been. Not a lot Barry Hawkins could do about this.
111.
He got a reasonably good break-off shot close to the cushion. Ronnie knocked along.